Namaste, Jai Bharat. The Bangladeshi advisor, PhD supposed to be, and Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus desperately wanted to meet Prime Minister Modi ji, but I don't think it's going to work out. And he made a very recent statement, very interestingly. He says that Bangladesh is guardian of oceans. Guardians of oceans. We have some such concepts in Puranas. The guardians of Saptasagara or things like that. I don't recall very correctly. Anyway, calls himself as guardians of oceans. And and he says that the seven sisters of Northeast Bharatiya states is wrong. It's not seven sisters, it is 8 Lakshmis. There are 8 states. One got added much later. So he has to update himself. That previously it used to be 7 sisters, now it is Ashta Lakshmi. Northeast are all landlocked. And this man is completely landlocked except one opening, and his landlocked borders are with Bharat. Bangladesh is surrounded by Bharat borders, and he is talking about one port, which of course is now threatened by the Arakan Army. That's a story which is subsequent. So he says this. So what is his idea? He wants China to come and give some money to him. And he wants China, of course, I was trying desperately to make corridors all over the world. The China corridor through Pakistan, Chinese corridor to Bangladesh, all these things were in the idea. So Muhammad Yunus thought that he would again entice China to have the corridors to Bangladesh and get some money, development, etc. And interestingly, this man is not bothered of finding out what's happening in the rest of the world. Sri Lanka had given in to China and had taken heavy smothering, heavy thrashing. Then anyone who had played into China, China is of course simply doing business. You just can't accuse them. They're doing business. They're putting money in your place to fetch money back. Otherwise, they're not doing charity. Nor is the case that they wanted to become world police. They wanted to become not at the cost of money, spending money. So they have their own definite interest, business interest. They put things, put money on your land, and they will want to get it back. And they will want to have control, positive control. All things put together, you will have to play according to the tune of China. That's if you accept them, and they are not compelling you to accept. And once you accept, they will keep compelling you to dance according to their tunes. These two things are very straight and simple. Now, Yunus wanted to make China happy that we are guardians of oceans. So you please make your corridor a reality and come and invest money and give us some money. We will escape from starving implicitly. Yunus, just like Erdogan in Turkey, wanted to extend his regime. Erdogan had been very effectively ruling Turkey for about 22 years plus, and he wants to make it, extend it. So he did the mistake of taking the help of the radical Islam. Same thing Yunus was doing right from day one, taking the help of radical Islam. And what happens in Turkey is that when he takes the help of radical Islam, the people of Turkey, they're much better than Bengalis. Bangladeshis, we can't call them as Bengalis. Bengalis are with us. In Turkey, what happened is they started reacting against Islam itself. Look at the repercussions of Erdogan's actions. The people, instead of going against him only, they started going against radical Islam. So they tried to liberate themselves from the clutches of radical Islam, which rather puts them in much coercion, especially the women folk. and the women folk are very sensitive to this section. They see the world, how the women go around in the world, and in their own nation, we, in the name of religion, all kinds of atrocities they have to face and suffer. So that kind of a volatile situation takes place in Turkey, and their hope is that mayor, I think he's still the mayor of Istanbul, Constantinople, which they call this is Istanbul. His name is something like if you put his name in Sanskrit, it becomes Himagol. Hima is ice, Gol is globe. So if you put the name in Sanskrit, it becomes Himagol. But I don't know what exactly it means in Turkish language and how to pronounce it appropriately. That even I do not know. But I just call it as a matter of lighter talks. Himagol. He is imprisoned, he is in jail. And he appears to be much popular, more popular than Erdogan. And it is a possibility that he can come into regime. And when Erdogan is doing everything to contain the restlessness, we have no serious news that what happens exactly. So the people of Turkey are also rejecting radical Islam, at least in the least radical Islam, and many of them must be rejecting Islam itself. This, we don't know anything beyond it, but then this is likely, it's likely that this is what's happening there. And similar thing Yunus is trying. He, right from day one, released Jamaat-e-Islami, supported all kinds of, gave them all kinds of supports, and they were on a rampage against the Hindus. They think that killing and destroying the property of Hindus, etc., would give them mileage, leverage. Yes, it does give. It did, because it gives them some mileage, because they are, after all, killing Kafirs, and Kafirs are to be killed according to a version of what they have been taught using the religion. That, of course, precisely is what radical Islam. Yunus also is saying that, but then there shall be sensible people in the Bangladesh as well, like in Turkey, who would subsequently start rejecting radical Islam. Their army chief himself is such a person, appears to be moderate, it appears to be, and responsible, it appears to be. But now he is telling, since we are guardian of oceans, China can come to us, we'll give you the entire ocean. All the 7 oceans he is ready to give to China, expecting China would give them everything, give him everything. So this is a very funny statement which Yunus is taking it. Yunus and Erdogan are sailing on the same boat, it appears. Let's see what shall happen to this Bangladeshi phenomenon. Unfortunate for the world, and most and more unfortunate for the people of Bangladesh, human beings there, no matter how indisciplined they are. One more thing. There was a time before the Bangladesh unrest erupted, and before this Muhammad Yunus was planted as an advisor in Bangladesh, that Bangladeshi patients used to flood hospitals in Bharat, especially the southern part of Bharat, and particularly in Bangalore. I used to see a lot of Bangladeshis, and over a period of time, the facilitation of such people increased and became more facilitated. So they used to come in groups, and the travel agencies would pick them up from the airport and give them apartments, including cooking utensils and all other facilities, all on rent. And they go to the consider, I don't want to take the name of the hospital because my son is a neurosurgeon there. So he used to go there, and this is how I seen it directly. And now that is stopped. They used to have a good time. The same indisciplined mob, indisciplined in the hospital, indisciplined in their apartments, indisciplined on the streets, walking without any particular discipline, having their own way, chappals, lungis, banians, talking big loud noise on the roads, going around and speaking just their silly kind of Bangla. The Bangla is not pure Bangla, not Parishkrit Bangla. They speak a version of Bengali language, going around. Unfortunately, the hospital people also have to face such indisciplined patients, not very cooperative often. So that situation is changed. Now these days they don't go, they can't come. And look at what must have happened to those patients just because of this Muhammad Yunus, his bright advice to the nation. They left to die. They come to Bharat because it worked so cheaper, and they expertise them more. They save their lives coming here. They're very good doctors, good professionals, and now those things are stopped. They're left to die. They're left to die because they can't seek medical support. Because I personally, since I told you, since my son is a surgeon there, neurosurgeon there, because you go and stay with him for periods, long periods sometimes, and see the kinds of influx of this Bangladeshi patients. And my son doesn't speak Bangla, I do speak Bangla, and he of course can understand. So I used to monitor the situation. I used to see the people going around. They were more comfortable in Bengaluru than they are in Dhaka, Chittagong, Mymensingh, Sylhet, or Rajshahi, Khulna, wherever it is. Wherever it is. Now the whole thing is stopped. What a bright advice. What a bright advisor. What a great plant by the erstwhile American deep state. They are in for major trouble. And it's a pain in the wrong place to see a neighbor of you suffering rather rotting. And we have to face the repercussions. They'll just budge in to our borders, no matter how strongly and effectively we try to contain, control. They keep coming. Because for them, it's a question of life and death. We shall meet again with some other thoughts. Till then, Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Sri Ram.